Hi, and welcome to episode 5 of Tennis Volley Talk with Brian Danielson. Uh, Please subscribe to my channel, Volley Talk on YouTube. And later on, for all you podcasters out there, you will be hearing about a racket of the day I have. But if you do want to see that racket, you can always go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk. But anyway, what I'm going to be talking about today is kind of more of expanding upon what happened during the pandemic and right after the pandemic, when tennis was then starting to get played again, and there were different exhibitions that were being done at the time. And one of those formats and exhibitions was called the Ultimate Tennis Showdown. And it was invented by Patrick Montgomery and Max Poprin. So that was kind of invented by him. Now, the format is actually a very good fast-paced kind of a format between two players. And it's only by points only, where a lot of you feel, with tennis and the sets and everything, if you get that out of the mind and the mindset, what you're ending up doing is it's divided into 4 10-minute quarters. And whoever wins the most points in that 10-minute quarters. Now, also with that, and the players play 2 alternating serves each. You don't switch sides. You only switch sides after each quarter. So you make as many points as you can on your serve and returning serve. And with that, there's also, you can have coaches help if you want to. Call a brief timeout, and then you can get help from your coach if you want to do that. And then they also have cards that you can play, which are really kind of take advantage for you, like 4 serves, or you take one serve away from them. You can play that card with it. So they have several different ways of kind of taking advantage for you when you're playing that Ultimate Tennis Showdown. So with that, what you would actually have going on is the 2 players playing for the 4 10-minute quarters. And whoever's ahead at the quarter, then that person wins that quarter. And whoever wins or has the most points at the end of the 4 quarters, then that's who wins that 4 quarters. If somebody wins 3 quarters in a row, then you play the 4th quarter just for points alone. So, but it's a very fast and good format to play. And you could probably actually play it if you didn't want to take a long time and be out there for 2.5 hours. If you want to play for an hour and just kind of keep track of the score of what you have in each quarter, and then somehow to time it for the 10 minutes. Or you could probably just kind of guess what a 10-minute time period is and then call it at that. But you could also do that. Very fun and fast-paced sport to watch or look at. And then with that too, what also was coming back after the pandemic, there was also Charleston, South Carolina, had a WTA women's doubles with that. And actually who was playing for that with that was Sloane Stevens. There was Bianca Andreescu. There was Sophia Kenin. There was Victoria Azarenka, Monica Pug, Madison Keys, Bethany Maddox Sands, Lila Fernandez, and Eugene Bouchard. Those were the players that played in the Charleston doubles. It's a clay court tournament too, and that's one of the popular clay court tournaments before they go off to Europe on clay with that. So, they had the doubles and very, very entertaining doubles, but there was no fans. It was just a few choice family members that were off in parts of the court and coaches and stuff, but it was still some very, very good tennis to be watched. And again, I was glued to the tennis. Anything that I could see that was tennis, I was watching, because I was, fixed. I was ready to get out on the tennis court. And then I was just waiting, being in Minnesota, I was just waiting for the summer to happen so I could get out and play in nicer weather, not have to shovel 3 feet of snow off the court. But with that, also, with that too, with the Ultimate Tennis Showdown, Berrettini ended up winning the first inaugural Ultimate Tennis Showdown. And the trophy that they gave is actually a lightning bolt, a cast lightning bolt. And it was really, really a sharp looking trophy too. And that was very good. But it was some very good players that you got to see. You saw Tsitsipas, you saw Berrettini, you got to see Dominic Thiem, and you got to see Richard Gasquet, and they were all playing very, very good tennis for that Ultimate Tennis Showdown. And with that now, for you podcasters, I'm going to be showing my tennis racket of the day. But also, if you want to, please subscribe to my channel and Tennis Volley Talk on YouTube. And then for you podcasters, if you want to see what I'm going to be talking about right now with the tennis racket of the day I have, then you can always go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk. But what I have right now today is a racket. It's actually called a Speedwood racket by Royal Victor. And that little symbol right there, Royal Victor, that little, the model that they used for that in the rackets that they had for that is actually the model they used was Frank Shields. That's Brooke Shields' great-grandfather that played in Wimbledon. And this also was made in Southview Tennis Club in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And with that too, it is it's original laminated racket is what it is. And this one has the grip on it. It's a little bit later, probably in the I would say probably late 40s, early 50s, maybe even earlier than that, early 40s. 40s to maybe 50ish, that they did and made this racket and sold out of Tulsa, Oklahoma as Southview Tennis Club, which now they probably is now called Philcrest Tennis Club, which is now established in 1972 with that. And that's just another look at it there. But like I said, if you podcasters want to take a look at it, go to my tennis YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk, if you want to look. And please subscribe. And for all you, please subscribe to my channel. With that too, it's also, what I ended up doing in going out and playing tennis. was so good to be able to do whenever the pandemic, and you could get out there and play tennis again. But with that, the Charleston, South Carolina, with the doubles, there was some very interesting doubles that was being played. It was a little bit strange, though, to be watching tennis and not hear any clapping by any crowds or anything. And that was kind of the norm for some of the tournaments that came back, even the US Open or the French Open. They didn't even have Wimbledon during the pandemic. So they missed that. But it was so strange to be able to be watching a tournament when it came back, but there was no crowds at all. A few choice claps by coaches or family members or something like that. That was such a strange experience to see on TV that way. For me, it was there. And but it took some getting used to, but now with 2 years out of the pandemic and things are getting back pretty much to normal with tournaments and everything, it makes it nice to hear the crowds and everything clapping again for the players and being able to do that. But also, they did have, right before the Australian Open this year, they did have an ATP team format event called, it was divided into 12 teams, and USA being one of them, and Croatia, and there was England, Britain, and there was Canada, to name a few of the teams out there. But it was a team event, and Taylor Fritz was one of the players. Jessica Pegula was one of the players. Madison Keys was one of the players. Frances Tiafoe were the main players of the USA team. And they ended up winning the inaugural event. ATP World Cup. The ATP Cup is what it was really called, ATP Cup. But it was won by the USA. Went down to Taylor Fritz playing Berrettini, actually, and Matteo Berrettini. And actually it went 3 sets. And then Taylor Fritz was just really, really hitting the ball very good. And he ended up winning it for his team. And it was a very good team format. And it was played throughout different places in Australia. So everybody was there in Australia. And then all they had to do, and the US was in Melbourne where the Australian Open was played. So they were used to the courts to be played on. And then everybody else just had the short way to get to Melbourne to go play in the Australian Open. So it was a good event, a new event, inaugural new event that probably is going to take hold and have that every year from now on with doing that. And just being able to see and have the camaraderie, the team competition with it all. They seemed to really like it a lot, the pros did. And it was some very well played tennis all the way around. I thoroughly enjoyed it myself. But like I said, please subscribe to my channel. And all you podcasters, you please, if you want to take a look at the racket that I showed you, the racket of the day, please go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk, and you can see what I'm talking about. So I hope that you like what I said today, got some knowledge from that. Tell me what you thought about the Ultimate Tennis Showdown. I liked it. It's a very good little format to work. You can play it yourself. You don't have to play sets, and it probably goes for about an hour. Kind of wing it, I guess you could do. But it'd be a good little format to play for tennis and not last for 2.5 hours out there, maybe an hour. a little over. So very fun thing to play. Just keep track of the points yourself, and just let me know what you think. So thank you very much for having me in your sites today, and have a very good day and happy tennis playing. And I hope you have fun. Thank you.